Friday now, May 9th. I can't remember the last time I picked this thing up. We got some rain and it was wet and cold all week. So I think when I finished up was Sunday. I was making supper. So anyways, we finally back in the fields. I'm just going to plant some corn tonight. Hopefully get this 50-ish acres in, and then switch the plant over, put 50 acres of beans in tomorrow, and then switch it back to corn to plant more corn. That's the plan anyway, so hopefully it holds true, and I'll catch up with you guys when I get at the field. Guys, rolling here right along. About 4.5 acres planted. So this is some custom planting we're doing for a neighbor slash relative. So we got 50 acres here to plant. This was bean stubble last year. He plowed it, worked it down, so it's going in really nice and mellow. So beautiful evening to plant corn. It's supposed to get cool tonight, but we should be fine planting corn in this weather. The ground's warm still, and it'll be fine to come up. So nice thing with boundary track, this tractor just is going to follow the path that I went along on the outside. I'll do I think I'll do 2 laps for sure. And then anywhere the combine or the sprayer's got to turn, I'll probably do 4 passes. Joe wants a minimum 24 rows around the whole farm. Makes it a lot easier for him opening up with the 8 row. And then on the headlands, just with turning and stuff like that with the sprayer and the tractor, 120 feet's nice and easy. I don't have to really crank the wheel to get out there. So anyways, as long as everything holds together, it should be fine. Oh, just turning the leaf game off here. So anyways, I'm just doing I just finished my headlands. I talked with Joe. Since we don't side dress or wide drop this, I'm just gonna do 90-foot headlands, and what he's got is minimum 24 rows all around it now. And anywhere that is a headland or where the combine's got to turn on, I'm just gonna do 90s. And then like I said, I just got my AB line set. I use A+. Now guys could use like boundary fill, but I find our fence lines, and when I'm custom planting, they all want you to plant as tight to the fence as possible. So it's like the boundary's really crooked, get every acre, and so then I just use an A+ heading, which is nice when we come back to plant this farm again. My AB lines are already in place, and if I want, I can shift it over. But since I have individual row shut-offs, I don't really mind overlapping because the rows are going to shut off. So leaves a bit of odd rows when Joe goes to split to work in lands, but for the most part, it works out pretty good for us. On our farm, since the boundaries are all set and we plant them every year, the AB lines are always in the right spot. We're using SFRTK, so that means that I'm sub-inch or inch anyways, so that's nice as well. So the next time I go to plant, I'm good to go. Better take this call. All right, well, I had a phone call here. I haven't been really listening to the leaf game. They just tied it up, so I thought, well, this would be a good time to pick up the camera. Been just cruising along here. Things are going in pretty good. So got just shy of 33 acres planted. It's 20 to 10. Hopefully it's gonna get real slow. I'm out of my long rounds, but won't be long getting this farm planted and go home, go to bed, and get up and do her all over again. I had full anticipation of mounting you guys on the planter and getting some action shots of the planter, but sun went away on me and everything's going good. I didn't want to really stop the planter from rolling, so I will catch up with you guys in the morning. Good morning. Finished up planting last night and got home around midnight. So I got the planter parked over here. I'm gonna vacuum it out with the corn, get the bean plates in, get the meter set for soybeans. Hopefully we're planting beans in an hour and a half or so. Maybe sooner, but anyways, I gotta fire up to 210 and I'm gonna lower it down so I'm not having to reach up as high. So. Oh, just getting that, opening all the lids. I got the vacuum cleaned out. I tidied up some stuff in the cab so when I get done vacuuming the corn planter, I'm gonna vacuum that cab and make it not look like so much like a pigsty. But you can tell I don't have a whole lot of seed left. Took a little bit to finish it up, but you know, easy. You could have just thrown another 2 bags in there and then you end up vacuuming out a whole bag. So, which takes time because that doesn't quite hold a whole bag. So there's not much in there. We'll be able to get them all vacuumed out. So I'm just changing them over and oiling the chains up, and this spring had broke, and so that row unit chain was running the risk of jumping off and not being able to plant. So it's a good thing we're going over that. I try and check this thing over every time before we go to the field. Don't know how long that was broke for, but monitor would have picked it up and that row wasn't planting funny, so I don't think it had been broke too long till I found it. Chain was still on. If the chain had popped up, I would have found it sooner. But anyways, we're gonna keep rolling here. I've got 2 done, 10 more to go. All right, just doing my outside lap. Beans are actually going in beautifully. This is some of the best conditions I've ever planted soybeans into. So we worked this farm in like a previous video. This is where I drove the quad track for the first time in the field, and we worked these corn stalks last fall with a Lemken Reuben 9, and then we just hit it with the cultivator once on the opposite angle to what we ran the Lemken, and it's got a rain on it, it's sealed up, and it's warm and good moisture right to the soil surface. So I'm just tucking these beans in and they're gonna be off to a great start. It's closing well, and I really like it. Honestly, I thought about should I be actually just not switching the planter to beans and just throwing more corn in, but I need to spread out the workload, and we want to get weed in on this farm for the winter because we want to fix up some stuff and tidy up fence lines and do some erosion work and fix some tile. So we want to get weed in here. So planting 2.3 bean early May. I think last time I did that I was very pleased with my yields. So we're going to try it again this year. It's just last year we could have done it, or in years past we could have done it, but just this year the stars aligned that I can sneak these beans in this morning, and we should be good. Not traditionally a 30-inch soybean grower, but all the soybean seed breeders in Canada, they do all their testing up to the final year of hybrid selection in 30s. So these hybrids are picked based on their performance in 30-inch rows till the last, the last stage. So I think they should be fine. So planting 125,000. So just a little under a bag to the acre. If I was no-tilling, I'd want to make sure I was right at the bag. But with how nice they're going in, we'll have lots of beans here in a week's time. So, anyways, I'm coming up to the end here, guys, and we'll get another 2 laps around this field, and then we'll start heading north-south. I forgot you guys you guys were on the planter there, so I'll do a high-speed montage of me planting. Edit out the few parts that I had to stop and didn't get my auto steer engaged correctly. So, but anyways, we're also putting a test plot in here of 6 different soybean varieties. So I've got that all marked out, and I'm gonna plant in behind that. I got about 8 acres or so left of seed, so we'll continue on, and Joe's gonna bring me some seed here in a little bit, and we'll fill up the planter, and then hopefully have her filled in. And then I didn't think it was going to go this good, so I didn't bring the plot seed home with me from Watford, but Joe and I want to take some calves down to David's, and since the shop's real close by, we'll drop the calves off, swing by, pick up the plot seed, come back, put that plot in, vacuum it out, and get it ready to plant corn this evening. So we will keep going up and down the field. Seed fill up. So I got some of the rows were out. I don't think actually the planter is actually counting correct, because the acres that I got planted, I don't think there was even a bag left. So maybe they are going on at that 130. So I'm kind of glad it's maybe That's what the sprocket says, and I'm gonna guess just the sensors I have on my planter aren't good enough to count accurately the soybeans. Problem is this soybean disc drops 3 at a time, so maybe the spacing's too close or whatever, and that's why. So it's not the end of the world. I'm glad that they're going down. They're going into good moisture, and nice warm sunny day today and tomorrow, and warm weather next week. We'll likely see them. It's always good to see soybeans twice in the same week, because once they're up, they're pretty good. But if they're not, if they take a while to come up, or you get a quick rain on them and they crust, they don't seem to have the push the same as corn to come through a crust. So got to treat your beans just as good or better than your corn when you go to planting, or you just end up having to redo it all. So it takes longer to plant a farm twice than to do it once right. So got to turn here, guys. Catch up with you in a little bit. All right, just got back in the yard. Just stopped by the fuel tanks. I'll fuel up before we go do that plot, because I got to plant some corn after. And I think what I'll do is I'll just take the stuff that I need to switch back to corn with me, and I'll just switch at the next field that I'm at. Or we'll have the truck there, and we got to vacuum everything out. We'll have the portable vacuum there. Joe and I will just switch it before I leave after finishing the plot. So we're gonna go load up some calves and take them down to David's, and then pick up the plot seed and come back and put that test plot in. I don't know if you guys can see me. I forgot where I put you guys, and then I got busy. Took a load of calves down, got back, and vacuumed out the planter, planted the soybean plot, put 6 entries in there, and then switched it back to corn and went and planted another 55 acres of corn. And it's just almost midnight now, so I finished up, and I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow morning. All right, I've been doing some farmer plumbing. So I redid the hoses for when I want to run this inductor system off the water tank. So it's going to come off the tank, go through here, and then when this valve is open, the venturi in here doesn't create enough suction. So when I put my Roundup or chemicals in this inductor tank, and I want to dilute it and suck it in line, I close this valve and I open this one, and the pressure of that pump creates suction, and then it'll drain that down and put it into the sprayer, so I don't have to use my sprayer inductor that's slower. Also is one less thing to keep clean. And then, like I said, then since it's on the pressure side, there's nice clean water coming through here, so then I can rinse that all out as it sucks it in. And yeah, been wanting one of these for a while, so nice to finally get her set up. And then I've got it that the hoses, it just goes in line, so if I'm just want to pump water, or we're pumping fertilizer at 28 time, I can take it out of line and move it around with the forklift with the skid. And then also when it comes to storing it for the winter, it's on a skid that we can set up, and it's easy to move around. So I got that all set up. I think I'm gonna rinse the sprayer out, and then see how the wind is. It's not too breezy. See how the wind is, and maybe go do some spraying, spray some bean burn down, but not entirely sure if I'm gonna do that yet. But I know I need to get the sprayer rinsed out. Needs to be rinsed out regardless, doesn't matter where I'm going with it. So anyways, guys, we'll fire up the sprayer, put some water in it, test out the system, and get the sprayer all cleaned and ready to go. Got the sprayer all rinsed, tried out the new inductor, worked as advertised. I had like carryover product, so I really diluted that down with some detergent, sprayed that out the ends to scrub the hoses, really scrub them if anything had settled out in the pipes. And then I did two more smaller rinses. Smaller, more frequent rinses are way better at cleaning a sprayer out than multiple big ones, right? So the reason I did a big one with the first one was just because I had carryover product and I wanted to make sure that I diluted it out enough. Plus I was messing around with my inductor and I had the pump going too quick. But anyways, and then I just filled my fresh water tank up and just did the automatic rinse from the cab out back, and yeah, works pretty good. Everything's clean. Not that what was in there it wouldn't at a minute there, it wouldn't hurt the beans the same as, but I know when I'm spraying bean ground and then I need to go back and spray wheat at heading time, we'll definitely want to make sure that the sprayer is really clean. So I am going to take this tote and some of that Zidua, and then we'll go spray burn down on some beans. Well, holy smokes, I forgot where I set you guys. I didn't take you guys spraying, but it was pretty uneventful. I was spraying our pre-emergent on our soybeans, and I sprayed that same mix as a burn down over for a guy we do some custom farming for. So when we get all the corn in, his bean ground's all ready and we just got to go plant. So talk things over with Joe too. Pretty sure we're just going to focus on getting the rest of the corn planted, and we'll maybe try beans next week. Still lots early, in the bean that the customer that we farm with or do the planting for, bean he's planting is lots early to be going in now. So, but the weeds were growing on the farm and I wanted to get ahead of them, so it'll be nice and brown and it'll plant good. And there weren't much stalks there, so we'll get these guys fed so they don't imagine anybody's fed them. And Joe's mixing up feed. It's like we've never fed you guys before. So Joe just comes in here. Just dumps out what we need. And then you'll bring the little, park that out of the way, and then you'll bring the little skid steer and we'll put it up in the barn. Now, some of you might ask, well, why don't you just use the mini TMR mixer? Well, the problem with the mini TMR mixer is it actually takes longer because you have to fill it and then it only does 400 or 500 pounds. So you'll see how quick he is when he gets going with the mini skid steer. How quickly he gets stuff in. Well, you guys kind of seen how he does that. I'm gonna wrap this video up with us feeding here, and catch up with you guys later in the week. Till next time, keep her between the